All right, hello everyone. This is Crota giving you Game 3 in the AWC Lin versus Th000, and I have just been informed that this is potentially the finals from this AWC tournament, which would actually make me a very sad panda. The reason why, well, this tournament has been going on for so long now, and I've been casting so many games from this tournament, and the games have just been so epic and entertaining. We are looking at Th000 spawning as the pink human player on the bottom left. Meanwhile, on the top right, we have Lin spawning as the blue orc. Altar of Storms, Barracks, and Orc Burrows now going down on both sides. Altar of Kings, Farm, and Barracks, I should say, relatively the same buildings as we are getting things underway. Altar of Kings most likely going to be training up on Archmage. It doesn't look like Th000 is going to be changing anything up in this particular instance, as the Archmage is now coming out. Meanwhile, the Barracks is going to be coming down into play, and the Barracks timing is a little bit more regular here, as we are now all evened up at 1 game apiece. So far, Th000, is he going to be training up a footman? Most likely here. I would be very surprised if it was Rifle Caster. That is an oldie but goodie of a strategy back in the Reign of Chaos days. I actually got a comment on one of my videos saying I should really state whether or not this is Reign of Chaos or the Frozen Throne. I got to admit, I don't think I ever cast a single game of Reign of Chaos. Every game that I've cast has always been Frozen Throne. I don't know if anyone still just plays WarCraft 3 vanilla, and if they do, well, hats off to you for playing a game that doesn't feel quite as complete, since the arcane vaults and the additional shops and the additional heroes and the additional tavern heroes adds such a wide variety of strategies that it almost feels like a different game entirely. The only thing that is really the same is the art direction. All right, let's go ahead and take down the forest trolls here. This merchant shop will fall relatively quickly. Dust of Appearance has already been picked up. This water elemental will fall, and there is level 2 on that Archmage as the Blade Master quickly sells his item and heads back over. This one water elemental may get taken down here. May try to get in front of it a little bit. Is he going to try to get in front of it? Yes, he does. And now that water elemental already very low. What is going to be happening next? That water elemental cannot run away easily. Down to 77 hit points, down to 20 hit points, and there it goes. Archmage or Blade Master gets some nice free experience there, 42 experience off of that water elemental, which was nearly half dead, or was half dead already, as we're already upgrading to a keep. Now, this does tell me that it feels like Th000 knows Lin's particular strategy, and he wants to make sure that he does not allow his opponent to build those all-important buildings. Now, what is even more interesting in this particular time, oh, there's the Blade Master. He is currently revealed. The Blade Master now going up against the Archmage. The Blade Master, however, that DPS is so much higher, even with the water elemental nearby, that the Archmage cannot really get away. Now, what I wanted to say was the stronghold was started at a started much earlier than Th000's keep. It looks like Lin is purposely cutting corners to try to get his tech through faster, so that Quill Beasts and water elementals are not able to take down the Spirit Lodge and the Spirit Lodge and the Bestiary. If that is the case, then it is going to be much more difficult for Th000. It really feels like Lin is starting to get a good handle on what exactly Th000 is trying to do in terms of his strategies here, as the Blade Master, now with that Dust of Appearance finally wearing off, should be able to get away. Meanwhile, the Archmage still getting stuck around the corner on the far side. Where is he going to try to travel to next? Perhaps try to pick up a Boots of Speed. Is he going to be able to get it? And yes, he is able to get it. Now wandering around. There you have it. The Archmage does have Boots of Speed and should be able to get around these units. And yes, that Archmage now just slightly faster than both the Blade Master and those grunts. Runs around the corner, uses a replenishment potion, and is going to have plenty of mana and hit points for the upcoming battle. All right, you can see Footman now attempting to take down the Murloc Tide Runner and another Tide Runner here. Level 3 on the Archmage already. That is going to be extremely helpful. Are we going to pick up the Tome of Experience or Tome of Intelligence? Yes, we are. A little bit more mana, extra damage as well. And we're now going to engage against this Blade Master who is still sitting at level 1. Right now, the problem for Lin is because he decided to tech faster to tier 2. He did not get that all-important second grunt early enough. And by delaying that second grunt, he also delayed any of his creeping. That Blade Master sitting at level 1 against a level 3 Archmage is very difficult, especially as we are now going into a Fire Lord. Though playing this very aggressively, he is not going to even bother with anything else. Just bringing in a Fire Lord to try to get in all of this damage. And here we go, Fire Lord. There is that lava spawn all ready to go, and that lava spawn could get some easy shots onto some of these units. You can see the damage is being dealt. Defend on the footman, as there is now a serpent ward coming in from Lin. Lin choosing to figure out how aggressive his opponent was going to be before getting his getting the Witch Doctor's ability, and notices that, hey, you're going to be very aggressive with that Fire Lord. I need to bring in a different game as well, and I need to be able to fight back this army with additional DPS. That's exactly what we're seeing here. The Serpent Wards do have fairly decent damage. The problem is that the lava spawns have decent damage and can split. Alright, this Fire Lord is pretty much out of mana. Blade Master engaging here. You can see the Serpent Wards gonna get taken down rather quickly. You can see the peons now trying to repair. Another grunt gonna fall here as the Demolisher already coming in. Lin looks like he has the right units and the right stuff to deal with his opponent, as we now see triple water elementals. One of them should be going down. There it goes. And the peasants need to start auto repairing all of these buildings. Alright, there goes a watchtower, or there is going a watchtower, as the peons are trying to repair. Is it gonna repair in time? It does not look like it, as we now see the guard towers just getting constantly repaired. The Demolishers just trying to attack ground into the center of this position, trying to just take down all of these guard towers, but that is not working at all, as there goes a water elemental. The Fire Lord almost has enough mana for another lava spawn. The Blade Master comes in and engages, quickly takes it down, and now is forced to run all the way back again, as the barracks may get a second Demolisher. If it does get a second Demolisher, that would be very game-changing, as the Demolishers are the perfect counter to try and stop all of these guard towers. We are now going into our 5th guard tower here. Footmen now pushing their way through. These one scout tower was canceled in addition to try to repair more, and Lin looks like he has a firm grasp of the situation, or sorry, Th000 has a firm grasp of this situation and going to be able to just finish off everything here. Blade Master, Spirit Walker, almost padded in the Fire Lord. The Fire Lord now very low on hit points, as we see that the Archmage is going to try and do a little bit more healing. There goes the Fire Lord, though. Blade Master has to be extremely careful now, running around the corner. No healing wave. Does have Spirit Link to try to spread out some of that damage, and now coming around the far side. Arcane Vault being constructed. We are now going into more towers here. That tower really just starting to poke its way through, and Lin, I believe, is in trouble again. Lin now trying to save this Demolisher, as we are going into a beast or a barracks here, trying to rebuild it. But the Demolisher is just too far behind this base, and hats off to Th000 for really executing this strategy very well. This strategy against Orc, fast tier 2 into Beastmaster or Fire Lord, both of them with piercing summonables, means that you can take down the buildings before they get up and running. Now, the question is, do you go after those towers, or do you go after the summons? If you go after the summons, the towers will most likely compete, and they are much more difficult, complete, and they are much more difficult to take down once they are constructed. But if you go after the towers and there is enough peasants there, they are just going to constantly repair and keep that tower just in the orange, constantly absorbing a lot of attention, allowing your units to finish up everything as well. That is the tension that Lin is currently feeling. You can see Lin unable to really break free here, not even having a shop to do anything, and this is pretty much going to be it. Archmage Fire Lord, both of them with clarity potions. Gonna drop in some additional summons here in just a moment. You can see the attack already coming down, raining onto the guard tower. The guard tower, 35 to 36. There is a little bit of what is going on. Is he building on? Oh, no, Lin's rebuilding his altar of storms here. Yes, right over here. The Blade Master is currently out of play, if you remember, and now more militia making their way off to the north. Mass peasants trying to engage here. All right, it looks as though, yes, the Serpent Wards will fall. The casters are now in a little bit of a sticky situation. Are they going to be able to make it out? Yes, Ethereal Form could, in fact, take it down to 2 hit points. And wow, that down to 2 hit point Spirit Master is going to survive with Healing Salve and now get stronger and stronger. All right, let's take a look. Lava Spawn now making its way in, trying to focus down this one, Demolisher. The Demolisher taking a lot of damage, and there in fact is the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 3. Please stay tuned for game 4.